Hi and welcome to part 2 of the power of the 72 name as part of the course Defining Consciousness. And I'm excited to dive into our second lesson and understanding of the power of the 72 name. And I wanted to go back a little bit of what I've mentioned last week, just a brief review. I think I've mentioned it last week. It's so exciting for me to speak about it and to teach about it and to learn also more about the 72 names, as they're really the bridge. And we can see what the righteous people, what the kabbalists wrote in our next slide. They really spoke about it. The righteous wrote about the 72 names, that the 72 names are the bridge. There are 72 bridges for chesed, for the mercy channels. And 72 is the numerical value of the word chesed in Hebrew, which means when we can see each of the combination is really a definition, is a bridge. Is a bridge for each one of us to move from the 1% realm to the 99% realm, to elevate our consciousness from the 1%, from the physical reality to the metaphysical reality, from the tree of knowledge, good and bad, to the tree of life reality, consciousness. And in our time, like Rav Berg wrote in one of his lectures about the month of Aquarius, Rav was talking about the fact that everyone is asking, where is Messiah? Where is Messiah? Is it going to be a person? Is it a consciousness? What is that? And Robert Berg already wrote there in the article. Actually, it's in Windows of Time. You can see the article of Aquarius, and Rav said that the 72 name is Messiah, which means the consciousness of Messiah is already here. The consciousness of mind over matter, the consciousness of living in a realm of miracles and wonders all the time, just by us using the 72 names. The previous part we spoke about how the power of the 72 name brings the vitality, the life into our life, just by scanning it through our eyes, that the windows to our soul. And we also mentioned that it started right with a revelation. The first revelation that we see to all humanity has been revealed to us. Of the 72 names has been revealed in the splitting of the Red Sea. And we talked also about the fact that the 72 names, we can see it in the other slide, that the 72 names are the DNA of the soul, the DNA of the soul, because we see that it's all combined from the 22 letters of the Hebrew alphabet that we understood already, that Hebrew is Ivrit, and it talks about move on or move past. So it's again, the letters are supporting us to move from one level of consciousness to the second level of consciousness, and so on. So every time we scan it, every time we meditate on it, and I'll share today a few of the options how to use the 72 names and how to meditate upon them. But I wanted to go over again just how this chart has been modified, just to be a bit clearer. And we learned that it's been given to us through the 3 sentences or verses from the portion of Beshalach in the book of Shmot, with the story of the splitting of the Red Sea. The Israelites are live in Egypt, they going out of exile and into their redemption. It's really about us. Every time we want to move from, as I said, one consciousness to another, is basically when we move from one level of understanding about our addiction and about what we are slave to. If we would like to move from that place to the place of really our redemption, our personal redemption, we have the opportunity to use the 72 names. So the whole chart was formatted and revealed by those 3 verses, and explaining about the whole process of the splitting of the Red Sea. So I want to go back to those 3 verses to show you again how the chart has been formatted, just to be a bit clearer. So we can go to the slide where it shows the first verse of the 72 of the first verse from Beshalach. It's Vaisa, so you can see in red, and now it's much clearer, right? So you can see in red like the letters of the verse 19, and you can see that the first letter from the combination of the 72 name, and I would refer to it as the right column. So you can see that the Vav and the Vav, for example, the first Vav from the sentence going to the first Vav of from the combination of the 72 name in the right column is this is how we see on each combination. We'll see that this is how it's breaking down into the first letters from each combination. Okay, this is how it's been. So we can go to the second verse, and we'll see Vayavo ben Machane Mitzrayim, and it's from the bottom of the chart, left to right, top to bottom. And this sentence is, if we break down the letters, we see that it's connected or into the middle column or the central column of each of the 72 name combinations. Okay, so you can see it from the bottom to top, from left to right. And we also refer to it, remember that it's connected to each verse connects to the patriarchs. So the first one is Abraham, from right to left. The left to right is Isaac. And if we go to the third verse, we'll see that Vayat Moshe al Yado. So we'll see it's the left column, or the third letter from each of the combination. It's taking part from the third verse, from top to bottom, right to left. So this is how it's decoded from the story in the Bible. This is how the kabbalist has decoded it to us, and actually the Zohar decoded it. So we see that Rabbi Shimon helped us by revealing the Zohar, that for us to reveal the power of the 72 name. And what we can see, that the sequences of the 72 names are rolling and combining in those in various ways, but they always be in a shape of 3 letters. And basically they are allowing us and to receive the secrets of the universe and the secrets of the human being. By using them, we can gain the light of the Shekhinah. By using them, we can gain the light of the Creator. And it's actually, I'm gonna quote a little bit from various kabbalist books, talking about and bringing us into more understanding and awe about the 72 name. And it says in a book, it's called Sha'arei HaLeshem, and it says here, Ve'arei lanu ki kriyat Yam Suf, and it talks about the departing of the sea, of the splitting of the sea. Shu sod haleida, it's the secret of a birth. That with Shalidei Ayin Bet Shu Chesed, and with the power of the 72 names combination, 72 names of God, which is the bridge of mercy, Chesed, Ve'alidei Shem Krasatan, and together with the second verse from the Ana Bekoach, which is Kabel Rinat Amecha Sagvenu Tarenu Nora, initials are Krasatan, which is judgment, which is Gvura. כי הקריאה שהוא הפתיחה היה באור הגבוה, ויציאה שהוא הלידה היה באור החסדים. Which means what's the kabbalist here mentioning, that the whole splitting of the Red Sea could have taken place by using the power of the 72 name and the sentence from Dana Bekoach, which is Krasatan. And it's referring to the whole process of splitting of the Red Sea or creating a miracle in our life. It gives us an example as a birth. It's like as with the process of giving birth. And the process of giving birth, it's, at the beginning, or with all the contraction and the whole process. It's krasatan. It seems that it comes with judgment, which means it seems that it comes with some pain, but the outcome, the baby when it's coming out, the splitting of the Red Sea, the experience of this miracle and experiencing of the light comes with mercy and with the 72 names. So this is what the Israelite has been using, and if we will refer it to our life, and we're talking here in a course that it's defining consciousness, and defining consciousness talks about really about our spiritual work, the ongoing process of our soul, the tikkun process that we're going through, the revelation of the light, the revelation of the essence of our soul. So we understand that sometimes it goes with challenges, sometimes we have some pain, but as soon as we understand that it's part of the process, and as soon as we understand that the pain, for some people, pain is a way that the Creator wants us to speak with Him, right? So if we will not feel pain, when we will call the Creator? Some people going through some pain in their life and challenges because that experience brings them into a place where they more feeling other people, they have more empathy, and therefore they become more of serving in a positive way people, and explaining, and even like maybe therapists, doctors, etc. They choose to help other people because they really feel the pain. But regardless, whatever the process we're going through, we know that at the beginning it might be sour, as Rav Ashlag explaining. At the beginning it might be sour. At the beginning, every fruit is sour, right? And at the end of it, at the end of the process, at the end of the 9 months pregnancy, at the end of the 3 years that it takes to a fruit to grow from the moment we planting that seed, etc., it will be sweet. There will be mercy. So this is how the Kabbalists refer to every situation, everything in our life that we would like to transform to a place of miracle. Miracle, when we talk about miracles, it's a reality that it's illogical, right? So whenever we want to transform our life into a miraculous and illogical reality, our ideal, or manifest in our dreams, it will be in a process of judgment. We can use the sentence from Ana Bekoach, Krasatan, by scanning the 72 names, it will bring it into a mercy, with the mercy results. So it's really interesting and very powerful as to know more. I wanted to go to a slide that will show you some of the actual interpretations from the Zohar, from the portion of Vayera. And in portion of Vayera, we have the beginning of a revelation, additional information about the 72 name. In that slide, we have, it's verse 274, and it will be also 275 and so forth. But let's read a little bit from 274 from the portion of Vayera. It's in the English Zohar, it's 384. And it really talks about here, it says here, 10 names are engraved, the king authority, the 10 names refer to the 10 sfirot, and 10 is exactly 10 sfirot, sfira, which means it's a realm, so we know there are realms and consciousness levels. And it talks about that they also add up to greater number, which is reference to the 72 name. This can be explained further. These 70 colors that glow in all directions that derive from these names, that is from the 72 name, and these 70 colors were engraved and formed into the secret of the 70 names of the angels, which are the secrets of heaven. And in verse 275 in Vayera, it starts to give the names of the angels that refer to the 72 names. So now, what does it mean? And I'm not sure how many of you know, But each of the letter that is engraved in the 72 name is a beginning of a name of an angel, which means when we look at the chart of the 72 name and we see, for example, the combination Vav Hey Vav, and we see all the various letters, there are 216 letters, which means there are 216 angels within the 72 names. Every letter is a beginning of a name of an angel. Isn't it wonderful? And before I'll show you the angels that refer to each letter, in Rabbi Chaim Vital, in the book Sharei Kedusha, refers to all the information of Rabbi Avraham Abulafia that talks about how he meditated with the 72 name and how referred to it. It says here, and he wrote, וגם צריך להזכיר שם המושל על עין בית שמות, אחר שתזכיר כל שם ושם של עין בית שמות ותכוון בו וזהו השם. Which mean, the letters that written here in red is basically the name of the angel that controls or rules the 72 name. So Rabbi Chaim Vital and Rabbi Avraham Abulafia, both Kabbalists, suggesting to us that prior of using or scanning the 72 names, the best is to ask the permission and connect to the angel that activates and control the whole chart of the 72 name. So I'm going to show it again. This is the angel, previously the angel in red that is in charge of the 72 name. If we can, this is it, okay? And we'll go into the next slide. It's just a chart that, I'm sorry if it's not as clear, but this is from the book. I brought you a copy from the book that it's showing you that if we'll see, let's say, the Yud Lamed Yud here, for example, is the second combination from the 72 name. It just shows us what are the names of the angels that each letter intend to or refer to. Okay? Why am I bringing it? First of all, it's an information that not a lot of people are aware of. Second, it brings me to talk about the personal 72 name. Each one of us came into the world in the date of birth that you received, with the parents that you have, with the environment that was set for you, with the stars, they're aligned in such a way. The whole universe is aligned for each one of us to our soul to come into the world with this physical body, to go through the process of the tikkun in order to reveal the essence of the soul. Every time that we going through a different, again, challenge, every time that we hit in the tikkun process, the idea is to reveal that shell, to reveal the blockage, and to reveal more of us. And within that, I call the personal 72 name as the safety belt or the life jacket that we each one are receiving to support us in the process. The Creator knows what our soul is about to go through, the story, what the challenges will be, and He sent us with a safety belt. He sent us with 3 angels to support us through our process. He gives us the personal 72 name. And each one of you has its own personal 72 name, and there's a explanation about through that we can know what are your strengths and what are your weaknesses, and how it can support you in all of the process you go into. So if you would like to know what's your personal 72 name, you can contact your personal teacher, or you can contact me, and I can share with you what is your personal 72 name. And with that, you can know who are those 3 angels that are there to support you since you were born into this physical world. They're there with you when they're high and when they're low. The only what they're requested from us is to ask for their help and ask from their support every time we need. So it's a very powerful to know that. And with that, I'm going to give you more information, and we can see from the portion of Ki Tetzeh. I'm going to read this for you. And you have it here with you that I brought. It's verse 17. And I'll just read a little bit from the Aramaic so we can connect to the power of Rav Shimon and the Zohar. And it says, Begin dehu gamil chesed ima, kad banoid Avraham avo memushkin bechama chovin b'Mitzrayim. Amar kutsha berichu, lach raya mehem nazil vegamin tivu leman, דגמיל ליה עמך, דדה כלה דילך יבת לה ליה, לגדלה לה במידות תבין, ויהיו גדילה, בית לסל מכלין דרחמה, דרמזין בתלת תבין, וו אני וו דינון וו דכליל בעון עין בית שמהן, כמניין חסד. And it says here about Abraham, and it talks about when Abraham's children were exiled, which are the Israelites, all the souls that we actually, the sparks of those souls. So when Abraham's children were exiled because of their many inequities in Egypt, the Holy One, blessed be He, said, faithful shepherd, go be kind to him who did the kindness with you, since I gave him your bride, who is Malchut, to raise with good qualities. And he raised her by drawing her 13 attributes of mercy, implied in 3 words, Vav, Hey, Vav, Aleph, Nun, Yud, Vav, Hey, Vav, which are the initials, and I'll show you what it is in the next slide, which are the initials, as it says here, which are the initials of Vav, since the 72 names are comprehended in them, as the first of the 72 name is Vav Hey Vav. You see, the first one in the chart is Vav Hey Vav. The middle one in the chart, the middle combination in the chart is Aleph Nun Yud. Okay, is Aleph Nun Yud. And towards the end of the chart, there is additional Vav Hey Vav. Okay, and it's so 72 is the numerical value of Chesed, as we mentioned, with which Abraham overcome the 72 nations. So we already see additional information that also Abraham used the 72 name to overcome the 72 nations, which are the 70 nations, Esau and Ishmael. Through your bride, namely Malchut, he had special property through the 72 name after Malchut received them. So what we see here is basically the chart itself, the 72 names itself. If we'll take the first one, and I have here a chart to show you. I'm not sure, but here you see the chart on the slide. So you see the first one is Vav Hey Vav. And in the middle of the chart, you see the Aleph Nun Yud, which if we'll just talk about this, you see in the middle of the chart is Aleph Nun Yud. In Hebrew, Aleph Nun Yud is Ani. And in the center of the world, in the center of our world, who's there is me, myself. So the whole idea is not coming from an ego part, but it's come from a place that we hear about revealing who we really are and what is that we need to come here to the world to bring. But the only way we can do it, if we go back to the slide of Vav Hey Vav, Aleph Nun Yud and Vav Hey Vav, we'll see that the only way we can do it is if we'll add the initial Vav, Aleph, Vav together. It's the Vav is numerical value 6, Aleph is 1, Vav is 6, it's come together to 13. And you've probably heard the number 13 in the past because it's the same numerical value of the word love, ahava in Hebrew, and it's the same numerical value of the word echad, which is 1. So the only way we can reveal our essence our gifts, our diamond to shine, is that we'll become one, echad, one with the Creator. And we talk here about the 72 names, of course, one of the tools that can really support us to connect to the energy of one, to really understand more of how we can become one with the Creator. To become one with the Creator is to behave like the Creator in every occasion, every situation we have in our life on a daily basis. And this is the whole power of the Zohar, this is the power of the wisdom of Kabbalah, to bring us into understanding that if Abraham used the 72 name to overcome Malchut, the nation of Malchut, what is Malchut? The realm of physicality we're in. That he won in every war and overcome the 72 nations with the power of the 72 names. So what it tells about us, it really brings us into an opportunity for us to be more aware of this power that we have that's called the Kabbalah wisdom, and the power of the Zohar, and the power of the 72 name, the power of Ana Bekoach, all those letters that are really creating a frequency and supporting us in the process. But it doesn't mean that just by scanning it, there will be a hocus pocus and things in our life will change immediately. No, it just brings us as I mentioned, like a safety belt or shield that can help us in the physical realm to react differently, to work on our desire for the self alone, to transform it into a desire to share. Because as long as we have this information, it supports us to see the bigger pictures. It allows us to work and really go through the daily challenges in much awareness and much more consciousness. But it doesn't mean that by scanning it only, our life will be hocus pocus miracles. It means that it requires from us really to initiate also the change. From us it's initiated. When the challenge comes, we can scan, we can connect to our personal 72 names. We can ask from the angels here to help us in every situation that we are in every situation that we are in. And I wanted to start introducing you to some of the 72 names and explaining just a little bit. We're going to start today, and I'm going to explain more in the third part. But just for you to know, everyone is asking about connecting to sustenance, right? To sustenance from all part, physical sustenance, mental sustenance, and so forth. So one of the 72 name combination that help us to connect to it is the energy of Samech Aleph Lamed. So we can see it in the next slide, that probably if you heard of it, Samech Aleph Lamed, right, is abundance and sustenance. And one of the things is there is a prayer that we do, it's the blessing of the food after we eat. And in the blessing of the food, there is a way that we open in our arms and we say, Poteach et yadecha. It's like opening your arm. We open in our hand to receive from the light of the Creator. And in Hebrew, as I wrote it here to you, we'll see that the initial of Poteach et yadecha is Pe Aleph Yud. And what we can see that Samech Aleph Lamed is the numerical value 91, and the initial of Poteach et Yadecha is also 91. Here we go. You will see that here. And it's the same numerical value of the Yudke Vavke, that it's fulfilled like the letters of the Creator. So we'll see that also 91 is the numerical value of the word Amen. So whenever we open in our hand and we say Potach et Yadecha, Pei Aleph Yud is connecting us to Samech Aleph Lamed from the 72 name to draw sustenance and abundance into our life. Okay, so now you already got one of the 72 names, understanding Samech Aleph Lamed, sustenance. Last week we spoke about Mem He Shin, if you remember, about really connecting to the power of healing. And additional information about the 72 name, how it's connecting us to the power or the wisdom of astrology. And this is a very interesting thing. So I'm going to read a little bit from the Ari, from the Gate of Reincarnation, and to see what the Ari is saying about this. And I'll Hebrew and I'll translate. So, Ein Bet Shemot, הם גבוהים בי"ב צורות שהם נקראים שבטים. Which means through the 72 names, we can see that we can split or the 72 name into 12 groups that relates to the 12 י"ב השבטים, to the 12 tribes. Okay? And we see that how the Ari refer to it. He says because it's mentioned in the high priest, he had a plate. In the high priest plate, he had different stones over there. So what we see, and it's written, and I'll bring more of a proof that he had the 72 name. Each of the 72 name mentioned on the plate, and also the 42, which relates to the Ana Bekoach. And we had 12 stones. To 12 stones, י"ב אבנים, ושישה שמות על כל אבן ואבן, which means he had 12 stones on his plate. Each stone referred to a tribe. On each stone there was engraved 6 names. Okay? And it says here, הם שישה ואבן, הם שישה פעמים י"ב, which means when we 6 times 12, it's 72. And והראיה הזאת, and this proof is basically, the Ari is saying, and this proof is that each of the stone has 6 names, and also י"ב אבני השבטים, and also the 12 tribes, and in each 12 tribes there are 6 names. עין בית שמות של הקדוש ברוך הוא. And also Rabbi Nechuniah ben Akana, who wrote the Ana Bekoach, also referred to it, that the עין בית שמות יש לו לקדוש ברוך הוא, there are 72 names of God, and all of them are, וכולם קבועים בשבטים, and all of them relates to the tribes. 6 משמותיהם על אבן האחת, ואת שמות ה6 הנותרים על אבן השני. 6 of the name on one stone, and the rest of the 6 on the second stone, and the third, and so forth for 6 stones. Basically, what are we sharing here? If we'll see the chart of the 72 name, we will see that there are 72 that divide into 12 tribes. 12 tribes. Each tribe, as we already know, relates to connecting us to a sign. So each tribe is connecting us to a sign, an astrology sign. And of course, each 12, we have 12 months. So if we go back to the chart, I want to show you how we can see what are the six combinations that refer to each of the astrological sign. This is how we can know how it's our personal name, and we can know more, because every day, also we have per day a 72 name that connect to us. So with every day we can see what is the energy. So let's go through this, and I'll share more with the chart. So if we look at the top combination of the 72 name, we'll see it's Vav Hey Vav, the top one. And if we'll count, for example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we see the first 6 combinations relates to a sign, to an astrological sign, which is Aries. Aries is the month of Nisan in Hebrew, which is the first month in the kabbalistic year. Okay? So we'll see the first 6 combinations refer to Aries. We'll go to the next tribe or the next month, which is the month of Taurus, and it's the month of Iyar, and it starts from the 72 name, the combination that is Aleph Kaf Aleph, okay, which is the second from the left on the top, and we count in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 through A. Aleph Kaf Aleph to A refer to the month of Taurus, sign of Taurus, the month of Iyar, okay, which is the second month in the kabbalistic calendar. And after Taurus, we moving into Gemini, and the six combinations from the 72 names that relate to the month of Gemini, starting from Yud Zayin Lamed, okay, heaven on earth, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to Kaf Lamed Yud, which is the vessel, fertility, it depends. So these 6 combinations refer to the month of Gemini. And here we're going into the month of Cancer, and let's see what are the 6 combinations that correspond to the month of Cancer, which is the month of Tammuz in the kabbalistic calendar, which they are starting from Lamed Vav Vav. Okay, so we see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So all these 6 combinations refer to the month of Tammuz, which is the month of Cancer. And for example, if we're already in the month of Cancer, and today is we're finishing the 9th of Tammuz, which is 9th of Tammuz, which means what is the 9th of Tammuz? It's Pehei Lamed, by the way. It's the combination, is Pehei Lamed. Every 5 days, we move to the next combination. Every 5 days from the month, we move to the next combination, okay? And we move to the month of Leo. The month of Leo, the month of Av, starts from this combination that is Nun Taf Hey, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, ending at Aleph Vav Mem. Aleph Vav Mem, bridging. So this 6 from Nun Taf Hey to Aleph Vav Mem correspond to the month of Leo, the month of Av. We move into Virgo, which is month of Elul, starting from Lamed Kaf Bet, and we count in 6, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it's finished in Mem Nun Dalet. From Lamed Kaf Bet to Mem Nun Dalet correspond to Virgo. We're moving from Virgo to Libra, Moznaim. It's the month of Tishrei. It's the month of Rosh Hashanah and the high holidays. It starts from Ani, that I mentioned before, Aleph Nun Yud, and we count in 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it's the last one. It's Mem Yud Kaf, revealing the secret, the revelation of the secret. And we move into month of Scorpio, which is month of Cheshvan. It's starting from Vav Vav Lamed, and we counting again 6, and it's ending with the combination of Mem Yud Hey. Mem Yud Hey, unity. So Vav Vav Lamed through Mem Yud Hey. The month of Sagittarius starts from Vav Hey Vav with happiness, Vav Hey Vav, and we count in 6, and it's ending with the combination of Nun Yud Taf. And we move into the following Capricorn, which is the astrological sign of Capricorn, starts with Mem Bet Hey. Look how it so corresponds to Capricorn. Mem Bet Hey is like actually manifesting and taking action. It's Mem Bet Hey, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, ending in Mem Tzadik Resh. With Capricorn, we're moving into Aquarius. It starts with Vav Mem Bet, which is water, refer to water. It's so connected with Aquarius, You start to see that. Vav Mem Bet, and we've counting 6, and it's ending with a combination of Mem Nun Kuf. Okay? And with the last sign or the last month in the kabbalistic calendar, which is Pisces, start with Aleph Yud Ain, and it's done at the end of the chart with Mem Vav Mem, spiritual cleansing. So we saw how from the Ari, and I just read from one of the Kabbalists, additional Kabbalists, Rabbi Nechonia ben Akaneh, but we have a lot of those explanation, and refers to how the 72 name, basically in the splitting of the Red Sea, every time we imagining, or if we saw the movie, we think that the sea was split into one path that all the Israelites passed through. And basically what it says with everything that I've read to you is that the sea was split into 12 tribes, into 12 directions, that each tribe went on its own path and in its own direction. Basically, it's also helping us to understand, as we've mentioned now, how it's referred to each of the tribes, each of the astrological sign, and by seeing that it's divided into 6 combinations, each chart 6 combinations. So we can already see how it can help to know more. When we see the combination per month, we can get what is the energy of the month, how we can be supported by those angels of the month that are there, how we can learn more about how to handle even the day. If today is Peh Lamed, and it's referred to forms of the various addictions, and to identify what we are addicted to, how we can move on from that, what are the steps that we can do. So every time that we look at the 72 names per day or per week, because every 5 days it's transforming, which means tomorrow, where we're going into Yud of the 10th of the month, it's going into Nun Lamed Chet Sofit, so Lamed Chav Sofit, which we need to look into that again. So how it can support us in our process for the next 5 days. So this is for you additional tool how to use the 72 names. Interesting, right? We can read additional information that I've wanted to read from you from the Ari, that there were the 42 names and the 72 names. The Ari is like just supporting what we said, what the high priest had, and we can see it in the next slide actually, so you can all view with us. And it's it's a lesson about the portion of Tetzaveh, and it says here that the word the 42 names and the 72 names, the Urim were the 42 names, that what the priest had, the plate that he had on his body, because basically when the high priest's job was to heal people and to clean their wrongdoing, if I may say. Okay, so whenever someone needed help to remove any negativity and to support with healing, they used to go to the high priest, and they used to only look through their eyes on those stones, on the letters. And what we had there, Urim Utumim. Urim were the 42 names, which is the Ana Bekoach, and the Tumim were the 72 names, which in the body, in the middle. So the 42 names are always in the head, and the 72 names are always in the body. So basically what we can see, that the combinations of the letters, whether the Ana Bekoach or the 72 names, has always been in use of the ancient people, of the high priest, or from Abraham. It went down into the generation, and it's so important that in our generation there'll be more revelation about the 72 name, that people will use it more to support their process, to support each person in the world to go through understanding of the concept of mind over matter. And this is the power of the 72 name. The vitality, the connection to move, to cleanse themselves, to move and to bring healing into one's life. It is so powerful. We can see that if we take the whole chart, right, we said that there are 216 letters, right? 216 letters also is a numerical value of the word ir'ah. Ir'ah is awe, the immediate, I guess, translation that I could find right now in English, but ir'ah is awe. What does it mean? There are different ways in our spiritual process to connect to the light and to connect to the Creator and to connect to the light within. The first process, or the first, let's say, the feeling that comes from it is ir'ah, also in Hebrew, can be translated into fear. Some people, as they connect to the Creator, they connect through fear. They're afraid that they will get punished if they will do something negative. So, and they're afraid that their family members will get punished. Some people are afraid of what will happen in Olam Haba, like the next world, which Olam Haba, the next world, doesn't talk about what will happen when we leave this physical body and we'll move on to our next journey. Olam Haba talks about what will happen according to the kabbalists, what will happen in the next minute. So, but there people are afraid. They have this fear that they're connected into the process of connecting to the Creator or the light within. And this is not the understanding that the Kabbalists are teaching us. When we talk about ir'ah, we don't talk about literal fear. Ir'ah comes from having awe about the Creator, having awe and gratitude and humility, and being humble of everything that we have in our life, and what else can we reveal in our life. So the 72 name with the 216 letters, this frequency of the letters adding into our level of awe to the Creator. So as we having gratitude of what we have and excitement of what is happening in the world, like for example, as you can walk in your street and you can see a flower, and just to look how in awe how about this creation of this flower by the Creator, or the way our children from the moment they came to the world to the moment that how they growing, and to look at it and be in gratitude. This is type of a yir'ah. This is because what comes from it, from this awe, the next feeling that is evolving is love, is ahava. It's you really build this love to the Creator, because you're building this love and appreciation to who you are. Because yir'ah, if we'll change the letters, if we'll position them differently, it will bring us into the word re'yah, which is seeing. Again, is coming back and seeing. And we'll talk even about the physical seeing, because we see the reality and we see how we evolving, and it's so much with so much love and excitement. And this is where we wanted to reach, to a place. This is how the 72 names supporting us to move into a place from having a fear to grow into another level of having awe and gratitude about everything in the creation, and what is that in my life, what are my qualities, and how, if we look back into our life, how we evolve and have awe about this, and see, oh wow, the light is within me, and the light is with me, with directing me, because from the moment, again, we are coming into the world, the light is always there. It brings us all the supportive tools to reach the moments that we have gratitude, and we are seeing the good in our life. So when we see the good in our life, we start to see the good in other people as well, and we see the essence of their soul, of the people next to us. By that, we have in gratitude about the people around us, to the Creator, and therefore it brings us into a level of love. Okay? So ir'a, awe, is re'iyah, is to see beyond what exists in the 1%. Is always to have the ability to see beyond that, beyond the 1%. So this is how it's connecting us to mind over matter, because matter, malchut, the 1%, we are ruled by our feelings. But Re'iyah, with the 72 names, with scanning the chart, we connect into your personal 72 names, or you meditate on one that you choose. You just look at the letters. You can say, let's say Yud Resh Tav, which is connecting to my silent partner, which is the Creator. So I can say Yud Resh Tav, I'm connecting to the angels, and I can have a conversation with the Creator. You can choose one of the names of the 72 names randomly even, and pick up. I don't know if you're all aware, I'm sure some of you are aware of the fact that we have like those beautiful, colorful cards that we can play with, or can support us with the daily meditation of the 72 names. We can just pull one, or we can ask, what can be my message? What is that I need to work on today? What if I have a question? The 72 names always answer. They will always have the answer. Like I just picked up, and what did I receive? Mem Hey Shin is really to bring the essence of healing into one's life. So God willing, everyone that need healing in the world, Mem Hey Shin. But it's also, Mem Hey Shin is also about accepting the responsibility of where we are in our life, and accepting the responsibility for my present condition, and transforming it and bring balance into my life. So there are different interpretation or explanation per 72 name, and you can really connect to your teacher. Again, you're welcome to connect with me for your personal reading. And we have and this is like this beautiful chart that we have here at the center, so you can also hang it. So different ways of connecting with your 72 name. You can pull up a card, you can take the chart and just randomly choose one and meditate on it. You can scan, okay? You can sit and scan. You can connect to the 72 names of that week also, that you can look into that and meditate with that. You can just visualize the letters and ask what is that you want more clarity about. So there are many ways of using the 72 name in a form of a meditation. The only thing is also it's very important for me to remind you, it's from Rabbi Avraham Abulafia, which was the kabbalist that was really using the 72 names in such a way that he was meditating for 18 hours a day, because he knew so much about the power of them and he didn't want to leave them alone. One of the things that he really asked from everyone that knows about the 72 name is to be pure in our mind before we come in and scanning them, to come with a pure soul, that when we come and scanning or meditating, we asking for help for other people, we asking the right messages, coming from the good heart and a clean heart, okay? And even though, as I mentioned earlier with the angel that activate the 72 name, is when we scan that angel and we ask a permission with so much humbleness to come to allow us to open the gates to our heart through the 72 names, because they are the bridge that allow us to, if I may say, jump to the other realm. So this is for now about a deeper understanding and the power of the 72 name. In our third part, we'll go through each of the combination, we'll talk about it a little bit, we'll share what each one means, and if we'll have more time, we'll see how it relates to the 10 Sfirot, okay? And I appreciate it that you joined me in this session, and hope to see you next time. Good evening, everyone.